Welcome to BC Spirits, episode number 12. I'm your host, Sean Sewell, obviously. You're listening or watching or however medium you're listening to this. As you can see, I've got a little bit of a tan. I just got back from vacation. I had a really great time last week. Last week we did lemon and orange, which was a lot of fun. This week I decided to, so a couple of weeks ago I did a tasting with the gang from Elephant Island. And I tasted a couple of their fruit wines and their fortified fruit wines. And I was just blown away with their Cassis. And I already love Cassis from the Odd Society. And so I was like, you know what, let's do a Cassis Off. And I was like, as always, I've said this a million times, you've heard me say this a million times. As always, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to have 2 or 3 Cassises to share off. But obviously, once I started researching, then I started getting into, we've got 5 today, which is a nice little episode. It's late in the evening, so this is a nice little aperitif time. So I sort of wanted to lay it out. I haven't tasted a couple of these. I've only tasted 2 out of the 5 we're doing today. Obviously, Cassis is more famous in Dijon for the Kir. Well, most people know the Kir Royale. So a little bit of history about the Kir Royale. It actually started off as the Kir. So Royale is always applied to a cocktail that has sparkling wine. So bubbles, Prosecco, champagne, whatever. Mojito Royale instead of soda, top it up with bubbles. Actually, you won't regret that one too much. So originally the Kir was created by the mayor of Dijon, and he had a whole bunch of people coming to the city, so he wanted to showcase the city's local ingredients as much as possible. So of course he had on one hand, he had the locally made Dijon Cassis, and on the other hand he had Dijon white wine. And so he mixed them together and created the Kir. As time went on, the Kir Royale became very, very popular, which is Cassis topped up with Prosecco. Super simple. You can do it at home. You can do it in jugs. You can do it however you want. I was thinking about doing a Kir Royale off, but I thought let's just do a tasting with regular Cassis, and we'll go from there. So let's kick this off. So first up, we have the blackcurrant. Now it's blackcurrant liqueur. So it's made from blackcurrants. This is a Cassis from the original bad boys, the Okanagan Spirits. So Tyler and the fam over there. So let's get this started. So it sits at about 24%, I believe. Alright, yeah, 24%. Now the thing with Cassis is that you can have a straight up fruit liqueur. Other Cassis have a few different ingredients added to it. By the looks of it, this is just sugar, alcohol, blackcurrants. Whoa, acidity bomb. Holy crap. This is like fresh blackcurrant. Lots of acidity there, which is really great. The residual sugar gets balanced off really well. The alcohol is definitely present, but that acidity of the blackcurrants, holy crap. That is monster. Beautiful and fresh. Almost lemon peely. Like sucking on a sour candy. Like a blackcurrant sour candy is exactly what you get from this. Hugely approachable though. This could mix with a lot of great things because it doesn't have a lot of residual cloying sweetness on it. You might have to throw a little ½ ounce of sugar in that if you're making it with cocktails. Next up, probably mostly everyone's favorite. I think everybody's got a great story about the Odd Society Creme de Cassis. Now, obviously, I've done this in an episode before. I think it was one of the very first episodes we did with liqueurs. Obviously, now as we get moving, I'm sort of focusing things in, like the lemon and orange last week. So the Cassis gets done again. Oh, the syrup. This is like a blackcurrant syrup. 23% alcohol. Oh, look at the legs on that. Well, let me get in the camera there. Just goes for days. Now, this one's a great story. This is partnership with MasterChef Hervé Martin, who was the personal chef to late King Leopold III of Belgium. And it was his recipe out of his cookbook that Gord created this. If you've listened to the podcast with the guys from Odd Society, there's some great stories, especially about this one, where originally they were straining it through ladies' leggings. Leggings is bad. Ladies' pantyhose to fine strain it. Listen to the podcast, it's awesome. This one's got a few things outside of just blackcurrants though. I feel like there's a few little somethings in there. It gives us this beautiful, rich depthness. This one's got a bit of cloying sweetness, but that acidity comes through just on the line. It's fruity, fruity sweet. So you have sugar sweet and fruity sweet. So like a strawberry is sweet, but it's not sweet sugar, it's sweet fruit, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense for you at home. Next up, now, Urban Distillers, cloner as well. This is some of the first things I've tasted from these guys. Now, I've tasted them at BC Distilled. I've tasted them around the block here and there. They're starting to make some good moves onto the island, at least. They have a rep here and everything. This one, again, has a big blackcurrant alcohol sugar is the only recipe. Again, gangster epic legs. A little darker. This is interesting. Almost, it's much earthier. Much earthier, pitty. I think with the Okanagan Spirits, you get a little bit of the unripe skin, that sort of bright acidity. The other side is getting that stewed blackcurrant there. The Urban, though, earthy. Super earthy. Very, very skin contact and pits. Not in a bitter sense, but like this very great earthy sort of blackcurrant to it. Oh, that was awesome. That was the first time I've tasted that one, so you can tell that it's my first time. So next up, well, the real reason why we're doing this tasting is the Elephant Island Cassis. Lighting is picking that up there. So for a long time, they did a lot of fruit wine. Super eccentric family. Great stories, epic stories. If you ever get a chance to go out to Elephant Island, taste some of the stuff. Crabapple wine, just blows your mind. As a cocktail guy, sitting there with his, I had my right hand from Pags sitting beside me, and we're just like, and that's all. Like we're just like the apricot wine and the crabapple wine is something you have to taste. So this is a fortified, like basically they made a blackcurrant wine and then they fortified it. It's 16%, a little bit lower. But yeah, this one you get like fresh, ripe blackcurrants on it. Like, it's sort of, if you mixed a couple of the first three we did together, because this is a little bit different methodology. These would have been blackcurrant soaked in alcohol and sweetened. This one is a blackcurrant wine made and processed. And then a shot of alcohol thrown in there to stop the fermentation process. Bulk up the alcohol content there. So you've got this sort of, the residual sugars have been eaten up by yeast and the alcohol has just stopped the process. But this is like fresh blackcurrants, like biting into a really great blackcurrant. Different methodology, but amazing. I find this one with a stronger Prosecco would definitely like flavor through a little bit. The alcohol content, the sweetness and everything would be the sweetness would be very similar, so it would mix really well. Now this one I'm really excited about is the Rathjen cellars. So Rathjen cellars, they've sort of made some big moves. We're doing wine for years, great wine. They just opened a tasting room. They partnered with Ampersand for the Imperative, which if you watch the Vermouth episode, you would know that. If you haven't watched the Vermouth episode, go back and watch it because it's me and Sol having a lot of fun. They recently brought out this Cassis. It's made from blackcurrants off the farm. I would hesitate to say it's very similar in production methodologies as the Elephant Island. Yeah, it's a fortified fruit wine. %20 alcohol. It's a little bit higher than the Elephant Island. I kept this one to last because it's the new one, so I wanted to try the new one last. I'm glad I did. The last two, very different to the first three. The first three have been made more traditional liqueur, like a maceration with sweetener. These ones have been made from a blackcurrant wine, which is a crazy way of doing things, but you can extract very different flavors, control the acidity and that sort of thing a lot more. because you're making a wine in the same process of making wine. And then you fortify it with alcohol. Bam, you've got your liqueur. These two, all these have this sort of like, not residual sugar, chlorine, sweetness, but like, they got bigger texture because of that sugar addition. These two, you can drink these on their own, on the rocks, slice of lemon. The blackcurrant wine that's been fortified is a much different flavor profile than the three more traditional liqueur styles where it's a maceration with the sugar. All of them would be epic in Kir Royales. Epic. They're all well-priced BC spirits that if you're having a weekend, a Sunday brunch, and you want to do Kir Royales, this is the way to go. Really, really is the way to go. Get some BC bubbles, get a couple of bottles of these, have your girlfriends over or your family over, have Kir Royales, and you could really have a really great time with these. I'm really blown away with that. Well, I've got another collection. Like, if you, as you can see, the back bar here is getting pretty full, and I've got weird stuff on that back bar. So, this is the Cassis Off. This is the BC Spirits episode number 12? 12. Episode number 12, the Cassis Off. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. I say it every episode I know. I'm completely 100% grateful for everybody who's following me, everybody who's backing me and supporting me. I appreciate it immensely. I've got some big things coming for BC Spirits in the next 6 months, so please keep an eye on it. Visit the website. Go out and buy these. Support local. Look up some great Cassis recipes. Use BC Spirits. Sub-add BC Spirits. Do a BC Spirits night. If you're a home bartender, if you're a bar, you got to try these things. Like, some of these are weird and obscure, and you don't usually see them around, but 5 Cassises in BC. It's insane, and I bet I missed a few. Have a good weekend, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.